In the noisy streets of Lagos, where people spoke louder than their problems, lived a quiet school teacher named Miss Amara Ijeoma. She didn't dress like the trendy teachers. She didn't carry designer bags or post her life on social media. She didn't argue in the staff room or fight for attention. She simply taught her children carefully, one lesson at a time. People called her too quiet, too simple, and even boring. Some teachers laughed behind her back. But Amara didn't mind. She believed what her late grandmother always told her. A calm spirit sees what loud spirits miss. She worked at Blue Crescent Academy, a large private school attended by children of politicians, business owners, and wealthy Lagos families. Other teachers tried to impress the parents, hoping for gifts or special connections. But Amara treated everyone the same, from the minister's son to the gatekeeper's child. One rainy Friday evening, with thunder rolling like angry drums, Amara stayed behind to grade homework. The school was nearly empty. The windows shook, the rain slapped the roof, and the wind howled. Then suddenly, the vice principal burst into her classroom. "Amara, we have a situation. A very important man is coming. You need to prepare the VIP room now." That was the moment everything changed. Minutes later, a convoy of black vehicles stopped at the school gate. Security men jumped out first, followed by two guards, carrying someone under a large umbrella. The rain was falling too heavily for anyone to see his face. "Who is that?" one teacher whispered. "That's Chief Emmanuel Okoro, the real estate billionaire," another teacher said, wiping her glasses. "He fainted during his son's visitation day." The hallway buzzed with whispers. Some teachers rushed to fix their hair and makeup. Others began acting overly nice, hoping to be noticed by his security team. But Amara simply walked to the nurse's room not to impress anyone, but to check if bandages and water were ready. When the man was finally brought into the room, the air changed. His breathing was weak, his skin pale, and his clothes soaked from the rain. His expensive wristwatch had fogged from the cold. The nurse tried to call the school doctor, but the network was bad. The security guards were shouting. The vice principal was panicking. Amara stepped forward, calmly. "Please put him here," she said. Her voice was soft, but steady. They obeyed. She placed the blanket over him and checked his pulse. He was alive barely. For a moment, the chaotic hallway became quiet. Then his fingers twitched. And before anyone else noticed, his fading eyes opened and landed on Amara. His voice came out thin, like it was fighting through broken glass. "Water." Amara held the cup to his lips. He sipped slowly, coughed, then whispered again. "Who are you?" "I'm Miss Amara," she said gently. "A teacher here. You collapsed. We're helping you." He stared at her, not with fear or pride, but with a strange mix of confusion and relief. Then he whispered something that made her pause. "Don't let them near me." "Sir?" she asked. "My people, my family, my staff. Don't let them in," he said, stronger this time. Amara blinked. She didn't know what he meant, but she also didn't argue. The vice principal rushed in. "Chief, sir, your son is on his way. Should we?" "No," Chief Okoro said sharply. "Only her." He pointed weakly at Amara. Everyone turned. "Me?" Amara asked softly. He nodded. "You stayed," he whispered. "Only you." The room fell silent. From that moment, he refused to let anyone else near him except Amara. That was the moment she realized this was not an ordinary man. And this was not an ordinary situation. The next morning, the school was crowded. Cars filled the compound. Important people in expensive outfits entered the gate. They came with frowns, lawyers, sunglasses, and urgency. "Where's my father?" a tall man demanded, pushing past teachers. That was Michael Okoro, his eldest son, who flew in from Dubai. He marched to the room and knocked loudly. Dad, open this door. Inside, Chief Okoro turned his face away. Tell him I'm asleep, he whispered. Amara gently stepped outside. Sir, he wants to speak with you. Michael narrowed his eyes at her. And who are you? A teacher, she said quietly. He scoffed. So my father talks to a school teacher, but not his own son? Unbelievable. He tried to walk in, but Chief Okoro's voice rose from inside. If she leaves, you leave too. Michael froze. His jaw tightened. This is madness, he said. He chooses a stranger over his own blood. He glared at Amara. What exactly are you doing to him? But Amara didn't reply. She didn't need to. The truth was clear. The man trusted her, and no one knew why. Later that evening, the compound was quiet again. Only the hum of generators and the distant sound of traffic filled the air. Amara sat beside Chief Okoro, adjusting his blankets. He stared at the ceiling like a man carrying the weight of 1,000 regrets. You remind me of someone, he said softly. Who? She asked. He didn't answer. Instead, tears filled his eyes. Do you know what it is like, he whispered, to live in a house full of people and still feel alone? Amara looked down. Loneliness can hide even in crowded places, she said. He watched her for a long moment. I haven't cried in 20 years, he confessed. But today, my heart is heavy. There was a silence between them, deep and honest. Then he said something she never expected. Do you think I'm a bad man? No, sir, she said gently. I've made mistakes, he continued. Some I can repair, some I cannot. He turned his head slowly. Amara, you still smile like someone who has peace. I lost mine long ago. She wanted to comfort him, but didn't know how. Then, in a broken voice, he said, there is something I must tell you. Something I've kept hidden for 25 years. Amara's heartbeat quickened. The secret was coming. The next day, after everyone left, Chief Okoro asked Amara to close the door. Under the chair, he said weakly, there's a brown leather bag. Bring it. Amara knelt, pulled it out, and opened it. Inside was a worn photograph, a rusty gold key, a sealed envelope. She lifted the photograph. It showed a young woman holding a baby. Her face was soft, gentle, glowing, with a quiet kind of beauty. That's her, Chief Okoro whispered. My Adaez. Amara held the photo carefully. She looks kind, she said. She was more than kind, he replied. She was the only woman I ever loved. Where is she now? Amara asked. His eyes filled with pain. I don't know. I left her because my family said she wasn't good enough. Amara's breath caught. She was carrying my child, he whispered. A daughter. Sir, you had a daughter? Yes, and I never met her. Amara looked at the key. What is this for? The house where I hid a daisy, he said. In Ogwashi village. No one knows about it. I need you to go there. Me? She whispered. You. Because I trust you. You look with clean hands, not greedy ones. Amara stared at the photograph. Her next steps would change everything. Chief, Amara said carefully, shouldn't your children handle this? My children? He laughed bitterly. They want my lands, my name, my signature, not my place. He held her wrist with trembling fingers. You must go before they stop you. Stop me? Why? She asked. Because if you find Adaeze, if you find my daughter, everything they expect to inherit will no longer be theirs. Amara felt a cold shiver run down her spine. He pointed at the sealed envelope. Inside are documents, a letter I wrote but never sent, a DNA test request, proof of everything. She swallowed. What if she's gone? Amara whispered. Then find my daughter, he said. Tell her I wanted to fix my mistake before leaving this world. He closed his eyes as another tear escaped. Amara stood there, unsure, afraid, overwhelmed. Then she nodded slowly. I'll go. But the door suddenly swung open, and Michael Okoro walked in with a lawyer behind him. What exactly is happening here? He demanded. Amara quickly pushed the bag under the bed. Michael pointed at her. You're hiding something. The storm was no longer outside. It was inside the room now. Michael stepped closer, anger burning in his eyes. My father has been acting strange since you came. What are you telling him? Amara said nothing. Chief Okoro raised his hand weakly. Leave her alone. No, Michael snapped. I want answers. The lawyer opened a folder. We believe someone is influencing the chief in his weakened state, possibly for financial benefit. Chief Okoro slammed his hand on the bed. Get out. Michael didn't move. You're giving importance to a teacher you just met, he said. She is hiding something. She is distracting you. Amara stood still like a stone. Michael, Chief Okoro whispered. You don't understand anything. Leave. Michael looked at his father, then at Amara. Whatever you're planning, he warned, it won't work. We're watching you. He stormed out with the lawyer. Amara's hands trembled. Chief Okoro sighed. I told you, he whispered. They will come for you. They fear the truth. But I haven't done anything, she said. That's why they fear you, he answered. Then he whispered the words that sealed her fate. Go tomorrow morning, quietly, before my family realizes what you carry. Amara barely slept that night. She kept staring at the photograph, the key, the envelope. The woman's eyes in the picture looked like they were pleading for something: justice, truth, or maybe just remembrance. At 5 a.m., she packed a small bag, called in sick, and left her apartment quietly. Lagos was still waking up when she boarded a bus heading toward Ogwashi village, the place where Chief Okoro said the secret lived. The road was long, dusty, and filled with thoughts she didn't want to have. What if Adaize hated him? What if the daughter didn't want to hear the truth? What if the family followed her? Meanwhile, back at the school, Michael arrived early. Where is she? He barked at the vice principal. She called in sick. Michael's face darkened. She's not sick, he whispered. She's hiding something. He turned to his security guard. Find her. But Amara was already far away, watching the city disappear behind trees and red rooftops. Somewhere ahead, in a forgotten village, a locked house waited, and inside it, the truth she had promised to uncover. By late afternoon, Amara stepped off the bus. Ogwashi village was quiet, surrounded by tall trees and old houses with rusted roofs. She followed the directions Chief Okoro gave her. Her heart pounded harder with every step. Finally, she reached it. A small yellow house with peeling paint and dusty windows. The key felt cold in her hand. She inserted it. The lock clicked. Inside, the air smelled of old memories. The furniture looked untouched, as if someone had left suddenly and never returned. A scarf hung on the wall. A cradle sat in the corner, empty but still rocking slightly from the breeze. Amara's breath caught. On the table lay a stack of letters, all addressed to Emmanuel, all unopened, all stamped with dates from years ago. Her chest tightened. Adeze had written to him. She had waited. She had tried. Amara picked up the last letter. The writing on it was shaky, almost fading. She opened it, and when she read the first line, her hands began to shake. Our daughter is alive, but she must never know what you did to us. Amara froze. This was no longer a simple promise. It was the beginning of a truth that could destroy everything.